to our presiding officer, Mr. Rogelio Valladares, to PARCCO 2, Rizal B. Villanueva, and PARCCO 1, sakto ba? Alfonso Tan of Department of Agrarian Reform and all other national government agencies, the members of the Provincial Agrarian Reform Coordinating Committee. Good morning. So in behalf of Bihildis A. Quezon, the Provincial Coconut Development Manager of PCA, I would like to present the updates on the projects and programs of PCA Zamboanga del Norte. So first, we are still waiting for the phase 2 incentive check of the participatory coconut planting project with total amount of 3.2 million, more than 3.2 million of the 500 hectares planted with coconut, and the option 2 of the said project of more than 4.4 million or 370 hectares planted to coconut. And for the updates of our fertilization program, the coconut coir-based organic fertilizer, the 46 hectares or 920 bags have been distributed and applied by the beneficiaries across the province. For our loan program under Anyo 2 or Agri-Negosyo loan program for the coconut farmers, out of 5 million, there have been 1.2 million distributed to the farmers across the province. So we started this in January or February, but unfortunately, of the 411 applicants, the approved beneficiaries, wala pa kaabot og 50. So the application letters and all the documents have been transmitted to the private lending institute, which private lending kundo, which is the Reserve Bank. For our Republic Act 1152 for our coconut farmers and industry development, we had conducted the provincial launching last August 18 in the Dapitan City, and regional launching in the Dapitan City, and provincial launching was in Liloy on August 30, 2022. So the CFIDP includes the health and medical program, which will be implemented by PCA and PhilHealth. The services will be in patient benefits, outpatient, the consulta or primary care, the Z benefits, and all other future benefits, which will be tackled further kung humanagi ma-finalize ang guidelines. The criteria for eligibility will be the NCFRS registered coconut farmers who are not listed as direct or indirect members of the PhilHealth. The priority farmer beneficiaries are the farm workers, followed by tenants, and lastly the farm operators, farm owners with 55 to 59 years old. The following are qualified dependents of a principal member under the PhilHealth insurance program, which is the legal spouse who is not working, the children who are 20 years old and below, children who are 21 years old and above but suffering from congenital disability or any disability acquired that renders them totally dependent on the member for support, and parents with permanent disability regardless of age that renders them totally dependent on the member for subsistence. For the crop insurance, the services will be implemented the coconut tree mortality insurance and yield loss insurance product package. The criteria for eligibility, the priority shall be given to NCFRS registered landowners and owner-operators with 5 hectares and below. Priority shall be given to aged coconut farmers, that is 55 years old and above. Considering that only coconut trees are covered under the CFITF or Coconut Farmers and Industry Trust Fund crop insurance program, the coconut farmer beneficiaries under this insurance program may ensure that their crops, livestock, and other farm improvements in PCI CRS-BSA agriculture insurance program at full 100% insurance premium subsidy, subject to the availability of funds, but they must register in the RSBSA. So aside from being registered in the RSBSA, they should also be registered in NCFRS. scholarship, which will be implemented under CHED. It has undergraduate scholarship program and graduate scholarship. So ang criteria niya, number 1 is covers undergraduate unlimited postgraduate scholarship grants. Grantee shall enroll in courses agriculture, agricultural engineering, agribusiness management, agricultural economics, and other courses identified by PCA depending on the needs of the coconut industry. Dependents of NCFRS registered coconut farmers who are interested to pursue their college education but do not have the financial capability to cover their educational expenses. So kaning mga bata nga mga bata nga anak sa mga membro or na registered sa National Coconut Farmers Registry System or NCFRS. Priority beneficiaries are children or dependents of indigents, senior citizen, PWDs, indigenous peoples, solo parents, and coconut farm workers. Training or farm schools will be implemented by ETI and TESDA. The services are strategic communication and administration of e-learning courses, training and other related activities, certification of learning sites for agriculture and provision of grants to extension service providers, planning, monitoring, and evaluation activities in program implementation, development of training regulations, competent standards, and competency assessment tools, facilitate the conduct of skills training assessment, provide TESDA scholarship programs to coconut farmers and beneficiaries, and provide trainers training methodology. Criteria for eligibility: farmers, organization, and cooperatives, including their NCFRS registered coconut farms, worker members which are the recipients of the shared facilities and farm improvement program components. So, madiscuss nato ni later kini mga shared facilities. Farmers organization and development. This will be implemented by the Cooperative Development Authority or CDA for the identified farm cooperative and association. The services will be conduct capacity building, training on cooperative management and enterprise development and enterprise development, implementation of support mechanism, provide livelihood assistance, so apila na ang business starter kit and operational sustainability fund assistance. Then, for prospective coconut farmers cooperative, conduct intensive cooperative organizing activities and social preparation through series of trainings. Then, facilitate the cooperative registration and other technical assistance. For newly formed coconut farmers cooperatives, organization of individual coconut farmers, and to facilitate cooperative registration and other technical service. Criteria for eligibility: NCFRS registered coconut farmers and active and inactive coconut farmers organization and cooperatives. For hybridization, which will be implemented by PCA and the OSTP card, the services are research and developments, technology transfer and promotion, socioeconomic and policy, capacity building, knowledge management, and M&E. Criteria for eligibility: the proposals to be considered shall be aligned with the harmonized national research and development agenda and support the coconut hybridization project under the Coconut Farmers and Industry Development Plan of the Republic Act 11524. The proposal is evaluated based on the following criteria: technical feasibility, financial viability, eligibility of the proponent. Then services is the production of hybrid seed nuts. So, dili na ta mag-provide og mga local varieties. We will be providing the hybrid seed nuts and seedlings. Then strategic planting and replanting of NSIC registered hybrids, increasing productivity of related existing hybrid palms, program support to hybridization, and professionalization of the coconut workforce. Criteria for eligibility will be the smallholder farmer registered in the NCFRS with less than 5 hectares, preferably a member of the farmers organization or cooperative. Then for intercropping, which will be implemented by Bureau of Animal Industry Services, rejuvenation and rehabilitation of existing production areas to reduce yield gaps, expansion of production areas, and nursery establishment. Criteria for eligibility: suitability for coconut coffee and cacao production, available area for intercropping, priority areas for development of cacao and coffee sectors with potential markets, with active CFAs or farmers, cooperatives and association, and registered coconut farmers. contiguity of farms to form into clusters, accessibility for ease of monitoring and evaluation. Sa livestock, manukan, ang appeal ani nga project is manukan sa nyugan, kambingan sa nyugan, bakahan sa nyugan, babuyan sa nyugan. Criteria for eligibility is number 1, they must be registered in the NCFRS. Dayon, kung mga organization is mas maitong SEC registered sila. Kabalo na po sila mag-kining livestock raising and willing to adopt the program guidelines. Preferably have available farmland for planting of forages, should have experience in caring and managing native animals, must be willing to provide animal shelter or housing as their counterpart, must have access to potable water supply. Then, the dairy which will be implemented by National Dairy Authority, so services 10 dairy goat module or 3 dairy cow or carabao module. So, naka-identify na tayo dito sa dampalan si Rosmeña kay ang mga baka ga kinahalan og bugnaw. Kung dili bugnaw, erkunan nato sila. Criteria for eligibility, they must be registered with NCFRS. Then they must also be a member of the ECFO or Small Coconut Farmers Organization. Suitability of the area or farm to dairy activities based on in-day assessment and evaluation. Presence of LGU support to dairy in provinces that have included dairy in their respective provincial priority commodity investment plan. Proximity to existing milk processing plants and other dairy facilities. So, pabor kayo ni kay naiplanta na sa gitukod sa Molave. Express willingness of coconut farmers, CFOs, and co-ops member to engage into dairy farming. Then for the integrated coconut and coconut processing and downstream products, this is the shared facilities, no, which will be implemented by PhilMec or Philippine Center for Post-Harvest Development and Mechanization. Then the construction of shared facilities, establishment of farm service crews. Criteria for eligibility. The criteria for evaluation of prospective farmers or farmers cooperative proponents are as follows. So, financially stable cooperative with good management. So, number 1, gina siya requirement. Cooperative membership of over 100 depending on project cost and NCFRS registrants. So, dapat na-register sila sa NCFRS. The shared facilities proposed by recipient cooperatives must be justified or supported by a feasibility study and business plan. Then credit programs under LBP and DBP. The Coconut Farmers and Industry Trust Fund Lending Program, LBP and DBP shall have the respective areas of coverage. So LBP and DBP, delineation of covered areas shall be province-based. Criteria for eligibility. Individual and CFRS registered coconut farmers, SEC registered coconut farmers organization and cooperatives kung gusto sila mo conduct mo venture into micro lending sa ilang mga members. Then for infrastructure which will be implemented by DPWH, so services ani construction of FMR, shared production facilities, trading post and post service facilities, research training facilities, establishment or rehabilitation of irrigation facilities and others. Give priority to use of coconut wire or coconut bioengineering solution in controlling the erosion and slope stabilization in the construction of roads and other applicable projects. Criteria for eligibility, we will be considering the number of beneficiaries, the volume of production, readiness of the cooperatives in case of shared facilities, trading posts and training centers, and access to markets of the product. So, NCFRS, so National Coconut Farmers Registry System, this will be the number 1 requirement for the farmer to enjoy this very important project under the CFIDP. So, the farm owners, the owner-tillers, the growers, or ang katong mga less than 0.5 or 50 coconut trees nga ilang natanom, tenant or tenant workers and farm workers or laborers. Any question? Taas gid ni. So, mao na ni ang gipaabot nato ang implementation sa Coconut Levy Fund.